everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Ange. How's everybody feeling tonight? Welcome. Trying to give people time to get in here. Welcome, 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 everybody coming in. Hi, everybody. I took some questions. I got some answers. If anyone has any questions, and y'all are here already since we're so little, throw them up now. I don't know where your dog is. What happened? How did he get out? You think somebody took him? Dog is missing. Hello, hello, hello. Evening, evening. What happened to the dog? How did he get out of there? He ran out the house and never came back. What's going on in the house that he left? Is this a new dog or this is a dog that you've had for a while now? And all of a sudden he's gone. Where he running from? Come on, talk to me. What happened? Good evening, everybody coming in. He ran out the house and never. Is that the first time he ran away? What was going on in the house that he had to get out of there? Is this a new dog? He always do this, go pee on 6 trees, then comes back. He's had 4 years. So just available. I'm torn to understand someone I'm talking to. Hot and cold, serious or just available. If it's hot and cold, what does that tell you? Why is it no open communication to find out what's really going on? Does he want to be involved? Does he or she or them want to be involved or not? He runs out as usual and pure in his favorite trees, but I know someone took him. I felt it, still can't find him. If that's his normal routine, who was watching you always in the neighborhood petting the dog and always want to come play with the dog, play behind the dog, pet him on the low or in your face, blatantly petting him, being extra friendly to him. I mean, I don't know how you would go about getting him back if someone did steal him, if nobody's seen that person with the dog. That's a little beyond a spiritual question at this point. Like, what you got on file? What can you see, you know? Anybody got any cameras up in the neighborhood that would be able to like look and see if someone actually took him, knowing his usual routes of where he would normally go and pee, because they usually have a way that they go and come back. So all along that route, I don't let no one deal with my dog. Yeah, on your street though, where he goes and pees, that little range of houses that you wouldn't, but somebody was watching him to say, oh, this is a beautiful dog, and take him. You know, I would think it's someone from the neighborhood and not someone who's not from the neighborhood that sees him and knows his routine and knows the route that he'll take to just pick up and grab him, because it doesn't sound like it is a random occurrence. If this is his normal route, his normal thing, somebody was watching to see that to go and take him. Yeah, someone was watching him. But it's right in that same, you're saying, is within a couple of block radius. It's not a far stint, because when he walks on his own, he don't go but so far. He goes within a certain area. So within that area, somebody took your dog. That's crazy. I know how y'all feel about your pets. That's absolutely ridiculous. Good evening, everybody that just came in. I took some questions. Let's just pray that they're gonna take care of him, you know. I mean, a goner. I wouldn't think that someone would steal the dog to do something bad to him, you know. I feel like they took him out of the city. Who got the visitors that's always got the extra cars at the house? That's a little bit unscrupulous in your neighborhood. I will go. I mean, if he's gone, he's gone. Not dead. I mean, gone. They took him. I'm so sorry that happened to you. People, when they pets is their children. So I totally get that. I'm not that type of pet person, but I get it. I'm gonna turn this down some. So I took some questions. We loved him and loved us, but thank you. You're welcome. I didn't really do much, but I know that somebody in your neighborhood took that dog. I took some questions. Good morning. I don't know where you hitting from. What time is it? 11:21 where we at. This Eastern Standard Time. It's only 11, but good morning wherever you are, my love. I took some questions. I got some answers. Where that's my paper. The first thing, somebody had asked me the other day, yeah, somebody took your dog. There's no, you know what you felt. You know his normal patterns. You know his normal routines. This is just regular knowing, right? When I said that, if you're dealing in spirit and you're trying to get a sense of what's going on, sometimes it's an extreme sense of knowing. It's not always so much of you seen, you heard, somebody said, or anything like that. It is just an extreme sense of knowing. So if we're just doing basics of what happens in life, he has a straight trajectory that he goes. He has an area of houses that it'll hit, and then it'll turn around and come back, because animals know their way home. Dogs especially know their ways back. So someone took them. It's 5 o'clock. He's expressive, but not as in my face as I like. Laugh at all. Is it past trauma just making me guarded? You're telling on yourself. You're telling on yourself. You want him, he's expressive, but he's not in your face as you like. Do you even know his love language to know if he is that type of a man that he would be all in your face? Is he that type of overly affectionate person that does the PDA that's always in one's face, or is his love language a bit different? For a new relationship, you should be finding out these questions to ask him so that you guys can have a clear understanding of where this relationship is going and the things that you both need to have in order to feel secure, and the things that you consider to be your love languages, the things that you consider to be how it is that you communicate yourselves with one another. That's an open dialect that adults should have with one another. If I'm with a man, I'll tell him up front, like, listen, when I'm sleeping, I don't want you all on top of, like, I'm a hot sleeper, right? So most females want to be cuddled up. I get the men that like that. Like, I'm not that person, so I don't require that. So I'll tell a man up front, like, look, I don't need that. You can have all your arm blood flow and all of that in your elbows and all of that, because I'm not that person, right? So, but if I need a man that's going to be all up in my face, then I'm gonna tell him, this is the type of person that I am. I am that huggy, lovey, squishy, kissy, I'm that person. Can you deal with that? Meaning, I need that reciprocated. You got to discuss that with this person. You have to talk to him and see if that is even something that he's capable of giving. And then you got to figure out why you can't ask him these questions. Why is it that you don't feel free enough to sit down and have an open dialogue with this person to say, hey, these are the things that I need. Can you accommodate me or not? That's the issue with you. Because I'm not just accepting anything because I like you off the rip. I can like you and then still see that, all right, you're not in my face like I want you to. Why not? You better ask. That might not be his judge. Those ones when you're hugging all night and your arm numb. Yeah, no, I'm not that person. I'm a hot sleeper. I got dreads for days. These things be all over the place. If I don't have my my boss man do rag on, like, no. But some people do like that. And if you're that person, you have to be upfront from the beginning. Don't be somebody you're not going into it thinking that something's going to change. If you are not speaking and you are not openly communicating with your partner, then you're never going to get what you want and desire back by sitting around waiting. No, this is a time for adults to sit down and have a open dialogue with one another. Yeah, I'm a hot sleeper. My feet will be cold, but the rest of me is hot, and I don't want no that body heat. That shit. I'm not that person. I'm a Scorpio. I'm the hottest water sign, and I'm low key. Like, I'm feminine by birth, but I got all of these hot male energies on my head. I'm not that feminine, girly kind of. That's not me. We do a little bit of role reversals around here when it comes to me and my men. It's a little bit different. Like, they do more of that touchy-feely, huggy, kissy thing than I normally do. I just, they pull me back into that because it's a good place to be. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's not my out the gate. I gotta really, really be digging you, or really, really be into you to be like that with you, or see a future with you, or something of that nature. It's got to be an extreme attraction kind of a deal for me to be at that level with somebody. And it may be the very same for that person, but you'll never know if you don't ask and have that conversation with them. This is the time for open dialogue to find out if your two languages of love are the same, and if you guys can even accommodate one another. That's a conversation that needs to be had, and you need to be having those with a lot of people in your life, not just him. I've been struggling with sleep. I haven't slept since Sunday when you done the Sunday check-in live. I've been trying, but nothing I do works. When has the last time you spiritually cleansed yourself? What are your cleansing practices? What is it that you're doing as far as your spiritual walk is concerned? And what is it that you're stressing yourself about? Because fleeting thoughts like you're getting when you're going to sleep, your mind is all over the place. You're not settled. And what's happening? 45 minutes at a time, you got something going on. What's going on? Why are you not resting? Why is your mind not allowing you to rest? You know what's going on. You just don't know how to manage it. You know that there's chaos and the energies around you is not so great right now. So the first things that we always do is spiritually cleanse ourselves. That's number one. Spiritually cleanse our homes. That's number two. If there's other people that's living in your house, like you have children or mates or anything like that, everybody gets clean. Everybody gets clean until the energy in the house feels settled. You should be at peace in your home. I cleansed myself around 2 weeks ago and had a spiritual. 2 weeks is not enough. You should be doing, if you haven't slept in a couple of whatevers, the first thing you should be doing is taking a spiritual bath. 24 hours past that you shouldn't sleep. Your human body needs rest. We know that, right? So what's going on? What's happening? What's happening that you're not sleeping? It ain't just, I can't fall asleep. What you worrying about? What you thinking about? What's not settled in your life that you are going over in your mind and letting other things come in and rush through there? You definitely need another bath, and you need a series of them, not just once. You need a series, 3, 5, 7s, or 9s. Those are the days we clean in. 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 9 days. Pick one and rock with that in a row, consecutive. You need to be cleansing your head as well. What are you battling with yourself that you can't let go of someone that's toxic? You like it? You like toxicity? It's not a good feeling. It's not a good thing. But when I said before that you were way too invested in that, you are too attached to that. You need to go get a yoni steam, number one. Cleanse that sexual energy away to just detach that person. And then you need to be worrying about your own life and what you can fix with you, and what you can grow with you, and what you can obtain with you, and how much you can, all of what you need for you. Stop worrying about her life. Tell me about your life. You can't rest, you can't sleep, you worrying about her. Okay, so spiritually, where are you? Do you have an ancestral altar set up? Do you know where you came from? Do you know your lineage? You should be focusing your chi on figuring out where you are so you know where you're going, so that you also know why you attract and feel so compelled to be drawn into toxic and chaotic situations. And now you feel like you can't sleep because of that person's inability to recognize what it is that they need for their life. That's called sucking in other people's energy and then allowing it to ruin us. That don't have nothing to do with you. Go clean yourself. Go start journaling. Go figure out your life. Go figure out who your ancestors were. Go figure out your strengths, your talents, and your weaknesses. Figure out what is it about this person that drew me to them in the first place. Figure out, how do I now find the qualities of a person that will be better for me. Now, what are those qualities? Oh, well, can I find them in myself first? Well, if I'm going to ask for it, damn it, I better be able to give it out. That's work on self. You got a lot of work to do to be sitting around. And if you're up anyway, you might as well be working on you instead of worrying about how. I have my altar. I'm doing my research, talking to my family members over the past week, getting information about the bloodline. Been at the altar every day since Sunday. Do you have your ancestors' first and last names, both your maternal and your paternal side, meaning your mother's side and your father's side? Direct blood lineage only. If they share an ounce of your blood, I'm talking about them. Aunts, grandmothers, cousins, granduncles, grandaunts, nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters, all of those that span out from your mother, her brothers and sisters, cousins, nieces and nephews, grandma, her brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, cousins, great grandma, grandpa. You got a gazillion different people to be looking for, to be sitting around worried about girlfriend. Vital records is where you find your I need their first and last names, and then you also need to be finding some photographs of them with only pictures, only the dead in those pictures. You need to be setting up your altar space for them with figuring out what it is that they liked, right? What can I put over here for them? Have I made a meal for them? Let me make them a feast, and then let me go over here and ask them for guidance and strength, right? Grandfathers, great-grandfathers, great-grandmothers. I've been getting all the names. Did you write them down and put them over there yet? Writing it down. That means it's not written down and it's not on the altar. Because like I said before, simple things like don't be all grandiose in the beginning, right? You print them out on a printer or you write it out on a piece of paper, and you take any picture frame you have in the house and you stick the list of names in that picture frame and you put it on your altar space. You leave space at the bottom, and every time you get another name, you go to your altar, you open that frame, you take that paper out, and you write the next two names that you found. You put that paper back in the frame, you put it back on your altar, and you walk away. Don't be compiling names and none of them is on your altar. But step by step, do stuff. Don't compile stuff and never put it together, right? Put it all together. Sit there. When you sit there, don't be over there just boo-hoo crying and, oh, woe is me, and why am I like this? Why is it that, well, talk to me, y'all. Build me up. Give me some strength. I need to walk away from bad habits and bad situations, right? I need to know what's good with me. What am I missing, right? What is it about me that allows me to do that? And sit there quietly sometimes. How long do you leave food on the altar, and how do you discard it? If it goes in the regular garbage and you leave it down for as long as you'd like, you can talk to them. You tell them if you don't have bugs and roaches and stuff, you can leave it down to the morning. If you can leave it down for an hour, you leave it down for 2 or 3 hours. You just tell them, I'm only going to leave this here for 2 or 3 hours, and I'm going to take it up, and you just throw it in the garbage. You don't have to discard it that any kind of specific way. It's not any anything that you've cleansed yourself with. That's regular food. It's an offering. It's considered an ebo to them. I got their names on the altar. I've been doing prayers and having a fantastic time connecting with my ancestors at the altar. So why you can't sleep? You having a fabulous time at the altar, and then you go lay down and can't go to sleep. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Since we on this one, somebody had asked me, I don't even know if she's here. You do days sometimes? One plate of food for days with your ancestors? No. You got to think of them as, this is not like if you do an offering to a deity, that's a different ball game. Fruits, vegetables, that kind of stuff. If you're doing fruits and vegetables, that kind of stuff, or just fruit, that's different. You can watch them pull the essence out of fruit. You'll see grapes and they'll start to shrivel up from the inside, right? But they don't mold or anything like that. They will pull the fruit too. They've done it with tangerines and oranges where it starts to just kind of sunk in, but has not rotted or anything like that. That means that the essence has been pulled from it already and you can discard it. So those types of fruits, yes. Cookies and things like that, those can take a couple of days. But cooked food, no. Next day, that comes up. I'm not offering, think of it as food that you left out. You're not going to eat that. They're not eating that either, right? When we're dealing with spirit and you're dealing with ancestral spirits, we're treating them as family members. We're treating them as if they are coming to our houses to, fruit is fine. But when you see it start to go bad, you take that up. We don't leave anything there for too long. But fruit for a couple of days is fine. Just pay attention to it. If it starts to look a little funky, if it looks a little, it's time to come up, you know. Cooked food is a different ball game. Someone asked me about strengthening ancestral connections. These are the ways that you do it. You discard those in the garbage too for the deities. It depends. If it is an ebo, meaning it was divined on and they told you they wanted this, normally they would tell you where to discard of it. If it is not that type of a scenario, when you decided it's someone's feast day and you just want to put something down for them, then there still is no number of days that you leave it for. That's between you and the energy that you're dealing with, what you're deciding to leave it there for. But again, cooked food, you still need to be watchful of it. You still need to be mindful of it. Certain deities, we go on the numbers of days that is their number. It depends on what it is and who it is that we're dealing with the numbers of days. And they normally tell us, you know. Simple offerings that we've decided to give to them, that's up to your own discretion. That's not something that's written that says you got to do this. That's your discretion. You're giving it to them from the love of your heart. You're giving it to them because you want to share something with them. You're giving them something that's going to nourish, you know, spirit in a different kind of way. They pull energy from different items, such as fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. You'll see them suck the essence out of that because it starts to, you know, disintegrate, if you will, from the inside. So again, there's no timetable that you would need to leave that. Strengthening ancestral connections. This is one of the ways. Are there any rituals done at the beach with Yemeya like in the sand? When you say ritual, what do you mean? And are you initiated in any way, shape, or form into Ocha? Meaning not crowned, but do you have your warriors? Do you have your mano de rula? Do you have anything in the vein of Ocha that you would be going to the beach to try to leave Yemeya anything? Back to the strengthening the ancestral connections. I've said this plenty of times before, but I keep getting this question. Listen, it is attention, it is energy, it is you going to them. It is you communicating with them. It is you honoring them, venerating them, finding about who they were, knowing their stories, giving their memories life again. Do you have a legua? Because remember, when you're dealing in Orisha, he's the doorway. He's the one that lets you speak to the rest of them. So without him going to talk to her, so when you say ritual, what are you trying to obtain? Are you just trying to go and give her an offering? Are you just trying to go and you have your warriors? Okay, so you would go to a legua first. Because when you give the rest of the Orisha something, you got to hit him off first. You got to talk to him first. He's not, he got to be the one to allow you through to the rest of them. She's not pulling you back in. You walking back in and you're allowing yourself to walk back in. And that's why you can't sleep up 45 minutes a night. Nobody wants you over there. Nobody wants you with her. You're not paying attention to your body. You're not paying attention to the energies. You're not paying attention to your life. Nor are you paying attention to the fact that your simple spirit is not resting because of this person. Are you serious? Who's more important, her or you? Come on, sis. So traditionally, as far as Yemaya is concerned, if there is nothing that came up that says you need to go, this is an Ebo, this is the letter that dropped, this is the old dude, they telling you this is what she needs, this is what she requires, this is what she wants you to do, and you're just trying to go over there and give her something. There's no such that is between you and her. Let me say that. If there's a particular ritual, the Orisha are the ones who come and speak to their Dilagoon or speak through Ifa to tell you what it is that they want specifically. We don't just make up rituals and stuff for Orisha. We don't just make up things for the Orisha. Sometimes we'll feel the need to go and give them something because, and I'm speaking in this, I'm not crowned in Ocha by man on this plane, but I have damn near every Orisha you could think of received by traditional ceremony. I didn't go to the Botanica and buy statues. I received them by traditional ceremony. They were fed, they were birthed, and all of that other kind of stuff, right? So I'm speaking to what I have in my home. She may not even be realizing it. This person is extremely selfish who doesn't pay attention to the outside world or the outside of the repercussions of what her life has done to others, right? So, you know those people that are kind of like a tornado that'll just suck everything in around it, but it's not her intention. That's just what her life is used to being, and that's what the energy that surrounds her, and that's the energy in that she's comfortable in. So anybody who don't got enough sense, because you don't got enough sense to be still over there, I gotta say it like that, because this don't make no sense for you to say that you ain't slept but 45 minutes a night and you still ain't cut her off. You know what's going on and you know what it is, so why are you putting yourself in that position? It doesn't make any sense. And don't blame her. Don't you dare blame her. You don't got to answer your phone. You could change your, you block her on everything. That's why these new everything, technologically can block everything that you don't want. So if anybody gets through, it's your fault because you let it come through. How about you block her and stop talking to her and see if you could sleep? And then go wash your tail spiritually. And then wash your head every day for the next 9 days. Every day for the next 9 days, you should be taking a spiritual bath. Every day for the next 9 days, you should be at your ancestors' altar. You bet not skip a day. In a row. You need a structure, right? You need to be forced into doing what's right for you. You want to be forced? The ancestors can force you. You know what happens when you get to a point of not sleeping? You lose your shit. Then you're not focused on what's going on outside in the real world because you so stuck up in here on somebody else's life. And her shit is fucked up. Let's keep it funky. Right? But you don't want to be rid of it. Her attitude is absolutely disgusting. Everything that's going on with her is karma. It's karmic debt. From what she puts out, she is reaping every bit of it. And every time you allow yourself to be connected back with that energy, you're taking a little bit of it. Why? Because you opened yourself up to it. Why? Because you can't let go. That's like crackhead shit. I'm going to get better. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop drugging. You turn right, go, you ain't slept. They out there scratching and popping and all kinds of stuff. And here you go right back answering her phone call. Stop it. Stop it. You don't love yourself enough. It ain't about being stupid. It's about where's your self-love. You don't love yourself. You love somebody else more than you love you. And that's crazy to me. At this point in life, everybody's been there. So don't get taken back to say, oh, and beat yourself up on it. Just be better and do better for yourself, right? Because we all been there. We all been there to a point of knowing that something was toxic and didn't know how to get out of it. But you managed to get out of it and you still won't let go of the little traps that have been set along the way to see if you really going to do this or not. Every time you get out of a trap, you jump right back in one. So why? You might as well stay in the trap if that's what's comfortable for you, but it's not. That's why you can't sleep. Your body needs rest. Your brain needs rest. Your spirit needs some rest. And you're not giving it none of that kind of stuff. So you know what in the physical it's doing? You're not going to get that either until you learn the hard way. You better learn to take what you deserve, right? Nobody's giving it. Nobody's going to give it to you. You take what you deserve, and what you deserve is peace. Peace. You have no peace in your life because you invite chaotic energies in. Find some peaceful people if you don't want to be around. First of all, you don't need to be dating, so all the way cut that out, right? No dating of anybody, any way, shape, or form. Date yourself. This is the time for you to date yourself. That's because go wash your head. Clean your head. Take a hot bath. Think about your life. Right? What about my life? Not her included in your life. You in your life. Just you. Where am I going? What am I doing with myself? How do I get my own LLC? Where are my talents? Where does my abundance and manifestation and all of my good stuff in life come from? What traits have I picked up from my ancestors that will actually give me ideas and information to help me to be prosperous in life on all aspects, in all aspects of the word of prosperity? When you strengthen your connection with your ancestors, that's going to strengthen you to show you what you don't want to turn out like. How many destructive relationships is back there? Go in there and look at your family history and see who was the one that stuck with the person that was destructive and it took them out of here. You figured out them stories out from your ancestors, because I'm almost positive that there's a couple of them back there in your line. And you're repeating the same steps that they took in life when one is not strong enough to handle this world. Don't be that person that's not strong enough to handle this world, because those types of things take us out of here. You'll be the one taken out of here for some bullshit that wasn't meant for you, and it'll hit you instead because you stepped in front of the bullet that was meant for somebody else. Don't you do that to yourself, because she's not going to feel bad. What does she do spiritually? She's spiritually, she do something with spirit. Somebody else had asked me about an ex and a relationship and asked me if their ex was here to teach them a lesson. No, your ex is here not to teach you a lesson. The repercussions of you not letting go. It's the same, along the same line. It's not even you, but it's someone who asked me the same type of a bullshit. You think I'm all the time when you dream of no sign to me. To teach you, they here to help drag you. How about that? You ain't learned the lessons, because these are not breakups that were good, right? These were breakups that were done to save you, basically. And that means that everybody can't come. That means that when I break up with somebody, there's no reason for us to be talking. You can call me once a year. You can text me once a year. You can like my stuff on social media every now and again. There is no reason for me and my exes to be in constant communication. We broke up for a reason, and if it's a bad breakup, don't talk to me and don't call me at all. You know how many in the last, the last 60 days coming out the woodworks? I'm not responding to these fools. The only reason why they can reach me is because they come through Instagram and Facebook, right? Private Facebook, so you can't just come in here and ask me nothing. I'm deleting and I'm blocking. I'm not responding to these people. I remember how these relationships ended. I don't care how you're doing now. It's not my business. Why do I care? I moved on with my life. I remember what happened then. You grew. That's amazing for you. that has no bearing on my life. I learned my lesson. I learned the signs. I learned how to get out of traumatic experiences. I learned to grow from that. I learned all of the things that I learned with you, which was to stay away from this type of bullshit. I've been tortured enough. There's no reason for me to speak with this person again. There's no reason for me to let this person manipulate me any further. These people with their manipulative tactics that you knew from the time you were dating them, you think that now after the fact they're not still manipulating you? They don't give a fuck about you. They care whether or not they have access to you. They care whether or not that you have something that they can do for them. Period. They're not offering you nothing. This go for a few of y'all. They're not offering you nothing. Nothing for your future. Nothing for your life. Nothing for your elevation. Nothing for your growth. Instant gratification is what they're offering you. And that is it. Go buy a vibrator. They got all kinds of stuff now that you could plug up to a car and kick the back of the truck and that bitch will start up. Go buy one and stop it. All of y'all. Everybody's worried about the wrong shit and none of it is about you and your life and your growth. And how can I be the best version of myself? Stop. Why do y'all worry about everybody else so hard? I don't understand it. What are you searching for that you think that somebody else can give you? Nothing. That you can't give yourself. If you can't give it to yourself, you can't give it to nobody else. And then you don't even know what it looks like when it's coming from the right person. Oh. I get like this when you guys destroy yourselves. These types of actions, these types of patterns kills the light that's in you guys because you are letting it be dimmed by everything else on the outside when in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. You motherfuckers got less than 35 summers left. 35 summers. Count it out in summers instead of years from now on. It makes a big difference to how much life you got left to live. And you're worrying about these people that ain't worth a goddamn. They not giving you nothing. They don't got nothing to offer. And if you needed them, they'd let you swing. All of y'all. Especially you miss 45 minutes a night. She's so fucking self-absorbed. She don't give a shit about you, which is why she'll know how toxic she is. She'll know how you try to get away from her, and she'll still sit there and call you with her bullshit. You better not answer that phone again. Y'all better save yourselves. You cannot continue putting yourself in harm's way like this. It doesn't make any sense. Tell me what she doing spiritually, because I got questions about sis now. What is she up to spiritually, hunty? I'm talking to 45 minutes. She told you that she goes to people and she just gets clean and she don't do no spiritual work. I got questions, 45 minutes. Everybody's so obsessed with this love thing. Nobody in 2021 knows what love is. Love is boundaries. Love is respect. Love is peace. Love is kindness. Love is nurturing. Love helps you grow. Love doesn't stagnate you. Love doesn't depress you. Love doesn't bring you worry. Love doesn't bring you any of those things. Love brings you balance sometimes if you meet your right match. It can make you feel like you finally found your person, so it allows you to be able to find somebody that communication is easy. The vibe is easy. The energy is easy, and it just fits. If you have to force it, that is not love. Love should not be forced. And you don't gotta fight for it either, goddammit. I'm so sick of hearing that shit too. As far as I'm aware, she doesn't do anything spiritually apart from meditating. She barely even does that, but she's been talking about she's getting can't. I just said that. Would it? She's just talking about she's getting candles. She's doing more than candles, because what kind of candles is that bitch buying? Is my question. Yeah, you buying candles, but are they candles to try to pull me back? Did you ask yourself that question? Did you go ask your ancestors that question? Is the reason why I can't get over her? Is the reason why I keep thinking about her? Is the reason why she's on my mind every time I try to go to sleep? Is this candles that this bitch is buying and she working them on me? If you still answering the phone calls, problematic. You think? So why are you still talking to her? No, she's not going to tell you what candles she's getting. No, she's not going to tell you what candles she is getting. Why would she tell you that? Block everything. Change your goddamn number. Since you can't block nothing. I want social medias blocked. I want Pinterest blocked. I want Tumblr blocked. I want motherfucking Grubhub blocked. God damn it. Block it all. I want Netflix blocked. I want passwords changed. You bet not leave no reason to chance. And then you go tell your ancestors to go kick over every fucking candle that bitch lights. Go kick that shit over. Make that candle light pop in her fucking hand so she'll know not to light another one with my name on it. Amazon blocked. All that. Hulu blocked. Everything. Come on. You gonna save yourself, but don't keep coming over here talking shit, saying, oh, you think. You know what's good. Because you got a lot of hard work to do. So prepare yourself for it and get to it. Focus your chi. Tomorrow, you better be wherever they sell herbs, rubbing basil up your ass. You better be at every supermarket, Botanica. I don't care where they sell plants. I don't care if you got to go outside in somebody's yard and snatch some shit and run. You better be outside finding some way to clean yourself. Head down. You go get you a yoni steam. Go steam your coochie out. And stop thinking about the dick and think about all of the other dumb shit he did. Because that'll make that shit not feel so good or think you how it was. Because he did some shit, right? And you know it. And he was a piece of shit. He wasn't the best and he wasn't so honest, right? That's why you're not there now. But you're thinking about the sex. Temporary gratification. Y'all bugging. Y'all are bugging. Y'all just didn't mesh because what? Y'all keep thinking that the baby mothers be the ones lying. Huh, okay. You better go talk to sis. Stop thinking, oh, she's just hating. She's not just hating. She's telling you what's going on, what happened. She's preparing you for what you finna walk through. They keep you so that y'all don't get along, so that she can't tell you the shit that's really happening. Because she done lived it already. That's where your life was going to go. Stop it. I'm the man in this situation. She's the woman. Mario, she done bought a candle, baby. That's 45 minutes, right? Mario's 45 minutes, am I? Pardon me. Wait a minute. Yes. Yeah. What's the alternative? Oh, they have lingam steams. It's a lingam steam. Same difference. You sit over the same type of steamy pot and steam your phallic. Steam your penis, boo-boo. Same difference. It does the same thing. It's called a lingam steam. That's for the men. Yep. They got them. They sure do. Go clean your shit off. Fix yourself. Same concept. Lingam steam. Lingam. Lingam. Same herbs, hot in a pot, sit on top of it, let your shit swing, steam it out, think about all of the bodies that you caught and letting them off you. Release all that energy. Release any energies that anybody has attached to me. Release any energies of any woman that I've been with. Release any energies of any woman that's trying to call me to them. Release any energies that anyone that is trying to pull me to them. Don't allow those energies to take place here. I'm clean, I'm clear, and block all that bullshit. That's what you do. I'm gonna need a K, not many spiritualists here. You don't need a spiritualist. Go to Pinterest. Go to Google. They have, even Etsy, they sell all of the products online. They have the little bowl thing that you could either put it in a pot and squat over it. They sell the little stools, and then they have the ones that you put over your toilet. I don't know how low you hanging, brother, but if your toilet is low enough, they put the things in the toilet and you sit on it and it still steams it up. It just has to be closed off so that the steam rises up. So there are a gang of those all over the place that you can order from, you know, that will allow you to clean that stuff. And you can, yes, heal the monte. You can research the herbs, put it together yourself. You just have to know which herbs you use. So just Google it. It tells you all of the things and all of the different herbs that you can use. And you pick out which ones you can locate and sit on that pot. Sit on that pot. Stop letting her use you, baby. She using the hell out you. And she trying to pull you. That's all I'm going to say. She trying to do stuff to pull you because you ain't where you was before. She feel that little slip. Somebody done told her that you trying to back up a little bit off of her. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know. That's the truth, though. Listen. If he's hanging low, he going to hit the bottom of that tub toilet and we don't want him hurting himself. So, you might have to buy the little stool set, which is a little bit higher, so you don't burn your stuff off, baby. We don't want you to burn it. We just want you to steam it. Y'all got to get this love thing together. Y'all can't be letting these people do this type of stuff to y'all no more. Like, I'm so over everybody being hurt because of someone else not being healed. Nobody should be dating if they are not healed. Or he's gonna burn his package. I don't want him to burn his stuff. That's what I'm trying to tell him. You better measure it out. Sit there, get a little tape measure just to see your swing capacity, just to make sure it don't hit the water. You know what I mean? That should be hot. So be careful. But it works. I know plenty of men that have done it. And they do end up buying the stuff themselves because they don't like going to people. But you know, you just have to have blanket or towel or something wrapped around the bottom half to keep the steam in, and you sit there, and while you sit there you meditate, right? You're meditating, you're thinking of the thoughts of cleansing, right? Releasing, removing all of those cootie cats that you done caught, all of them, hers and everybody else's too. You don't need no residuals. Cut all ties, cut all strings, remove that kind of stuff, right? If you know somebody that does Reiki, a lot of people do now because of COVID, they don't do it in person, but they do distant pranic healing, right? So there will be sometimes cords and ties depending on what she's doing, right? To tie you to her. Someone who practices distant pranic healing will be able to remove those things, because when talking to the people that I've dealt with in that vein, see it as somewhat of an X-ray. So they can see the different spiritual things that are in there, blockages and things of that nature that needs to be pulled out and removed and cleansed and untied and all of those things, so that you can have free flow of energy again. When somebody binds you and ties you up, your energies are being kind of this motion, so that you don't have the freedom of vibration, the freedom to move, the freedom for your spirit to do what it needs to do. This is what they're doing to you. And you're allowing it when you continuously, you're helping it. Do this. What starts this off? Blocking. My friend is the Taoist priest from a bloodline of Obeah. He does many forms of spiritual works, including what? How you got access to somebody that can help? This is what I'm talking about. You so sleep deprived, you can't even think of the people that are in your back pocket. Priests. who can help you do this stuff. Please call them and burn the poom poom. Cause y'all check the temperature before y'all put y'all stuff over the heat. Okay? Listen. I bought the whole stool, right? So I have the official stool, and then it's a what is it, a rice pot or a crock pot or something like that that's inside of it. So you have to turn the gauges to low, high, medium. Don't burn your booties off. You need to see it steam, and then when you sit on it, because when you sit on it, females, you got to spread your cheeks because you got to open up to make sure that the steam is going up inside of there. So you do your core stretches. You know, you got to open your womb up a little bit and sit on there so that everything gets steamed out while you're sitting there. But be mindful, if it starts getting hot, turn it down. Yeah, you call him first thing in the morning, honey. Please set that up. He's going to be able to help you. Well, no, if you have what are those birth controls? What's an IUD? That's not something that you need to be mindful and check out whether or not a steam is something that you can use. Pregnant women, no, and IUDs, depending on the type, you need to figure that out. Google that. I'm not sure about the copper IUD. I can see that not working out so well for you. Be careful. Somebody asked me listen, I know a couple people got pregnant with IUDs. The children are here. One is like 16 now. They're fine. So be very careful. You Google it. It's all over the internet, right? Pinterest tells you how to make it yourself. So it tells you the packets of what comes in it. Etsy's got a gazillion shops on there read the reviews, right? Anytime you're buying something like that, read the reviews and see what the other people thought of it. Look up the herbs and see what's being used in it. If you can get the herbs together yourself, put them together yourself. All you need is the herb pack and hot water. That's it. And to go over there and your prayer and your intention for you to go over there and pray. That's it. I'm just moving. I had to get it out. Make mine. Yeah, you can make your own. If you have the ability and you're thinking about it and you can make your own stuff, then by all means go make it. The packages of dry herbs anyway, right? It's just a packet of dry herbs. That goes into the water that you're steaming, and then that steam goes up into your cootie cat. That's it. There's no oils, some people put oils in it. I've seen some people put natural 100%, real oil, not no fake crazy. You got to be careful. Don't use any fake products when you steaming stuff. No perfumey stuff, right? It's got to be 100% pure essential oil, and it has to be the type that you can consume. Be very careful with your lady parts. I have been keeping me baby free for almost 10 years. I tried to remove it, and it wouldn't come out. I felt it once the right person comes along. When you get your shit together, and then the right person comes along. That's a 2-part deal there, honey. Food grade. Thank you, Kofi. It has to be food grade oils if you're going to be utilizing it for your regions, your parts, right? Food grade. That's where it's safe. Other than that, natural herbs only. Plants, flowers. They use all that kind of stuff. Somebody asked me, can people send demons to you? I don't know what a demon is. I know that there's higher vibrating energies and there's lower vibrating energies. There's light, and then there's ones that don't reside or work in the light. Those, anybody can send a spirit to you. Yes, they can. Stay out of it. 2 months. Come on, Viva. I need everybody to leave the toxic environments that they are in. You cannot heal in the environments that got you sick, ladies and gentlemen. If you are sick in this environment, if you've been disrespected in these environments, if you've been humiliated in these environments, if you have been broken down in these environments, if you have been made to feel all kinds of things that have caused you to turn inward, right? And no longer value yourself the way that you used to be. If you think about the free spirit that you may have used to have been before you got with a certain person, and you are no longer that free person, and you are bending to every one of their wills, I'm going to need you to figure out, is my voice being heard? Or my needs being met? And how do I feel about this relationship, honestly? You know what the biggest problem is y'all have? Y'all don't want other people to see that y'all shit ain't great. Who cares? Theirs ain't either. I'm single as fuck. You know why? Because I'm not dealing with this stuff. I get rid of niggas so fast it's not even funny. I don't got time. I don't have time. You come in here nice, and as soon as you start your bullshit, my ego will stand up and be like, get him out of here. And I'm like, peace out, homie. I took all my strength to just be okay every day, and I was only halfway there. My light is coming back. Yeah, come on. Call it back. It'll come back if you call it back, if you ask for it back, if you allow for it to come back, and if you do the work in order for it to freely flow to you like it's supposed to. Yes, someone can send spirits to you. Yes. Yes, they can. That is why we tell you to have your ancestors set up. So that if they cannot, if it's an energy that's too much for them to be able to handle, and for the most part, if it is, they'll find a way to get you to some place or someone that can assist you. Or if you're doing the right type of spiritual work, and you're doing the right type of elevation work, and you're doing the right type of ancestral veneration, that is when your spiritual square starts to step forward, because there's always somebody back there that came ready for the smoke. There's always somebody back there that came ready to do the things that your walk was already preordained, so they already knew the things that you were going to face. They already knew what paths you had the options of taking. You think that your ancestors are going to let you walk straight forward into some bullshit and have nothing there to help you, to catch you if you fall, or to keep the bumpers in, to keep your car on the road? No, they have things for that. It is up to you to do the proper work in order for you to receive the help that they send forward to you. So yes, someone can send spirits to you. But when you get that inclination, the first thing that I'm going to need you to do is to stop associating with the people that do this type of bullshit anyway. If you see them doing it to other people, God damn it, they going to do it to you too at some point. They're not your friend. They don't have that capability of being a friend to someone if they are vibrating at such a low frequency that they are that type of person that sends spirits out to do stuff. Because let's keep it funky. A real person, a real nigga, let's keep it funky. We're going to bring it to your door. I don't got to send a spirit to that. That's a coward's way. Right? Sending spirits to do some shit is a punk pussy coward's way of doing things. Excuse me. But I gotta say it the way it is. That is a punk poop putt move. Come, let me see your hands. Right? If I wasn't scared of you, then why would I have to send some spirits to come and do something to you? I come do it myself. Period. So that means that you should not be in association with those type of people at all. If I find out that you are the type of person that has done that and still continuously does that, when you feel that somebody you want them underfoot or some shit like that, that means that your ego is all fucked up. You have no character, you have no moral compass, and you have no business being anywhere in my life. I will not vibrate at your frequency for us to even be able to get along. You're going to hate me in a week. Pay attention to the type of people that you allow yourself to be around and call friends. If they do that type of bullshit to other people, your days are numbered as well. As soon as you step out of the scope of where they think you should be with them, they're going to turn it on you. Period. Somebody asked me about working with your madamas. Yeah, I know they follow me. They be throwing shit at me too. You know how many things that I gotta go through before I go on live because people want me to shut up and stop. I'm telling, I don't care. Stop doing it and I won't talk about it. And as soon as they come in, they don't ever come here and ask me no questions, though. They be quiet. You see them be in the background quiet. Always. Stay in the back quiet. I pray that you learn something. I pray that you get it together. I pray that at some point something rings in your ear to make you stop the bullshit that you're doing, because I got a bunch of them on here. I know it. They watch me all the time, and they come back and try to regurgitate the shit that I said and don't even know what the fuck they be talking about, so it sounds stupid coming out their mouth, and then they turn around and do some other left-wing shit. I pray that some of this gets through to them at some point or another. That's it. Yeah, you hear it, right? That's St. Martha. Somebody asked me about shaving heads in traditional ceremonies. That's an Ocha thing, right? Certain things we don't discuss about certain ceremonies, because it's something that you must experience in order to fully get the full brunt of it. I can say this. If you've done any research on head shaving, on any traditions, because there's 1,000 different spiritual sex traditions that shaves one's head, right? But just let's use basic knowledge for a second. I'm not even going to touch on specifics, right? Basic knowledge says that if I'm being reborn as a child, children don't have long locks of hair, right? Hair holds energy. That's why motherfuckers always trying to get your hair to do some bullshit to you, right? It holds your essence. It holds energy. It also holds baggage, and it holds stuff that you've dealt with over the years. So we want that fresh and clean. We don't need to bring none of that into your newborn life, right? We need you to start off from a place of no ego, right? Bald. You're bald as the day you were born. Come on in here, Baldy, and let's get the insides together. Let's get this new birth together. Let's get this new life together. Let's strip away all of the old stuff, and as we've cleansed and placed something new and pure on your head, now we want you to grow from that. And all of the hair that you grow beyond that will be all fresh and new. There will be none of that old excess energy left behind to carry over with this new life that you're supposed to be living when one is crowned, right? People get crowned nowadays and think they can go around and do the same bullshit they did before. That's not the purpose of you getting crowned. You're supposed to be changing your life. You're supposed to be born again, anew, open again to the real spiritual self of you, the authentic you. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So your hair means nothing. You're not even supposed to be looking in the mirror, okay? Because we don't care how you look. It's about what's going on the insides. This lady helped me a year ago, and after that, it all changed to the better. But she is calling you out if you are not doing your work. Thank you, Lydia. Yes, come on. Thank you. Listen, I can sit here and tell you guys everything underneath the sun. And if you choose not to do it, you're going to be here in the same position a year from now, with a year wasted. And time is non-refundable, and you're not guaranteed to have another day. This world allows you a certain amount of time to get a certain number of things right. So when you see people that go early, some of them have already accomplished what they needed to accomplish, and so they go when their spirit has, their contract is up, I'm out. Right? Those of you, some of y'all get dragged through life just because you tie the noose yourself and throw it on the back of the horse and smack the horse's ass and let it drag you across your own life. Stop that. Don't do that no more. Good night, baby. I'm going to try to save this. So save yourselves. Save yourselves. Listen, ride or die does not mean he done cheated on me 18 times. And I'm just here, taking it. Ride or die is like, it's a tough financial time. Maybe homie lost his job. Maybe sis lost her job. Maybe things are just not, the world is just, is messing with outside stuff. Not him screwing around everybody. Not her screwing around with everybody. Not disrespecting. That's not a ride or die. That's you being an asshole because you're letting somebody take advantage of you. That's what that is. A ride or die is in tough times, not a third party coming into our relationship. That's not a tough time. That's a choice. I'm not with that choice. You made that choice. Go over there. A tough time is the government crashed, and now these companies don't have employment for us anymore. So now we got to figure out a way to keep our finances together. That's a tough time. That's a ride or die. Not you done got paid, took your check, disappeared for the weekend, came back on Monday. The kids and me ain't seen you. You've been with somebody else, and I'm supposed to ride or die for you. I'm sorry. That does not. Those scenarios don't go together. Y'all are mixing up the terms and what it's supposed to mean and how far you supposed to ride until you get off the bus. I'll pour sugar in your tank. Go sit down. Stop it. Learn to love yourselves. Learn boundaries. Have your own. Don't be dependent on nobody, whereas you can't get up and leave because you have nothing of your own. This is why I tell y'all all the time, y'all got to try some stuff. Y'all got to find your gifts. You got to find your talents. You got to find the things that are innate within your DNA that just needs to be reactivated, that your ancestors did, that can help you to move forward in life and to give you some insight on some things that you could be doing and make some money for yourself so that you don't have to be financially dependent on anybody. Nobody wants a person that's solely dependent upon them. I don't care if you are a stay-at-home wife. That stay-at-home wife does a lot for the household that he couldn't do if he was not there. So if you are a stay-at-home wife, do your job too, right? But damn it, that don't mean he gets to get away with everything he's doing because he makes all the money. There should be a balance of respect that's going on in that household. I don't care who brings in the money. Y'all better learn to pay attention to how we feel. What is it that we need? What is it that we deserve? And then look at your partners and see what's going on and why did I choose this bastard? Y'all can't live this life and think that making all of these horrible decisions, then you're going to turn the spirit and ask them, oh, but can you? No, motherfucker, I can't. I'm waiting on you. When you move, I move. Until you move, don't ask me to move because every move I make, you're going to block me. That's when shit gets flipped upside down. Now, it's, oh, the ancestors betrayed me. No, they didn't. They done gave you every red flag to make a quilt, a curtain, and everything, a three-piece suit out this motherfucker. And here you go, disregarding it. So, when the whole shit flips on top of your head, now you're mad and you're hurt. But you've been hurt. You're just placing your energy in the wrong area on them, and it should be on self. Why? Because you allowed yourself to stay in this position for way too long. You accepted way too much. You belittled what you were deserving of from the very beginning by simply wanting to be part of a relationship. And it didn't matter how horrible the relationship was. You just wanted to say you had someone. I'd rather not. Because I'm still looking stupid in these streets. Is it worth it? Absolutely not. Is your peace worth it? Absolutely not. Y'all got to claim peace for your own lives. Period. If it's not bringing you peace, it got to go. Friends, all of that. Family, blood. If they are not coming in peace, they can go someplace until they find some peace. It is not my job to help them find peace. It is my job to make sure that I have peace and that I exude peace. And if you come around me, you're going to feel that peace. And peace aggravates people's demons all the time. I like that. Let my peace aggravate your demons. Y'all gonna leave. Because them demons is going to leave. They like, we don't like her. We got to go. Because what she got with her, they are coming over here to smack us, and we're not having it. Please get away from me. Please. Please. Nobody's exempt. Nobody. I don't care who they are. Don't care. Somebody asked me about prepping statues that have been purchased. Now listen, I done told y'all 1,000 times of just about buying shit and bringing it in your house, right? Don't just be going out buying a bunch of statues and you haven't had any type of a misa, any type of a spiritual investigation, any type of a reading with any type of intuitive that has said that these particular energies are in your spiritual court. You just went into the store. You have no spiritual communication at all whatsoever, and you start seeing a bunch of statues. You know how many statues call to me when I go in stores? You think I'm taking all of them home with me? No. They know that I have a house of light. They know that I get wild energy out in here. They know if they get home with me, that they get to ride out. But if you're not on my spiritual team and you didn't come here for my initial descent or my initial paperwork, to say that you was coming to rock with me on my bloodline, I don't need to be picking up no strays because I done bought the shit in my house from a store. You can do that. How about you figure out who's with you first to make sure that you got them taken care of before you start giving honor, light, and energy to something that's not even initially supposed to be here with you in the first place? How about that? Now, when you do that, and in that way, the person that tells you what to get is going to tell you how to cleanse that item before you bring it into your home. I can tell you this, a lot of statues have holes on the bottom, which means that they're open, hollow receptacles, which a spirit can go in there. We were taught when we were children, don't leave empty water bottles in the house. Don't leave no empty bottles in the house. Why, mama, why? Because spirits hide in bottles. We used to always have to fill our water bottles up. But any bottle we got in the house, we put water in it so that a spirit can't hide inside the bottle. Well, if I put a statue that's hollow out the bottom, let me pin my Cash App. I don't even know it. Dominique. I think this is it. If I have an open vessel like that, then any spirit can be hiding in there wherever I've purchased it from. If I bring it home and all of the things that I've been doing are inaccurate, and I have no ancestral connection, and I have no ancestral altar, or none of that kind of stuff set up, but here I go in the store, and I done bought this statue, and I done brought it into my home. How many tricks the energies have forced me to buy this so that they can hide inside of it and come into my house and siphon all of my energy? How many? You don't know. Because nobody told you to go buy that statue. Make sure that it's part of what you're supposed to be doing when you're going to buy it. If that is the case, then we use things like Espanta Muerte, Abre Camino, Rompe Muralla, those types of cleansing, purifying herbs to remove old energies away from it in order for you to get just yours and the energy that you want to be attached to that statue to take home with it, right? To make this their focal point for you. This is where their space is going to be. This is where you're going to honor and venerate and work with them from, and you're going to use that image to have a focal point. This is the image that they are going to use to cover you, right? Be mindful that you are not just out there purchasing and buying things because it's talking to you. Shit talks to me all the time. I don't bring it home with me. Everything does not belong in my house. I don't care what it said. At all. I've walked into a store, didn't see the statue going in, but saw her coming out. When I got out of the store, I was like, oh my God, I would love to have something like that in my house. And the rest of them was like, bitch, absolutely not. And I was like, wow. No. They're not having it. Because mine are already in place. They're like, she's not one of us. Nobody asked her to, no. You say hi and keep it pushing, sis. And then and anytime I go anywhere where there's spirits, anything going on, I come alone and I leave alone. My famous parting words. You're not coming with me. None of you spirits don't follow me. I come alone and I leave alone. That's how you keep them off you. I come alone and I leave alone. I never say in any spirituals, I don't even care if it's a botanica. If I'm with a relative or a friend, I never say, hey, let's go. That's an open call to everything that's heard my voice to now let's go. You never do that in a funeral home. You never do that in a cemetery. You never do that no place like that. All of that shit that heard you is like that bitch invited us home. Let's go. Now they sitting on your couch and you want to know, did you open a portal? No, you just invited them to come home with you because you said, let's go. You call out the specific person's name that you're talking to. If I'm talking to my little sister, I'd be like Dominique and I call her whole government. Or her Oriki name, which is something in Yoruba. Her Oriki name, I call her one of them two names. Those two names are only names I'm calling you. Come on, me and you, we are leaving now. No, come on, let's go. No, none of that kind of shit. Everything in their mother will be sitting in your car on the way home with you talking about, let's see what she got. We about to be lit. Because you need to sit down and get your shit together. And you probably need, when the last time you cleansed your head. When's the last time you cleaned yourself? Somebody asked me about high-pitched noises in their ear and seeing things out of the side of out the corner of your eyes. Listen, a lot of y'all have these spiritual gifts that you can see and you can hear. You just haven't been using this thing since you can remember how you started walking, right? Y'all need constant head washes. Y'all need constant baths. Y'all need constant cleansings. And when I say constant head washes, don't let a month go by without you washing your head for at least a series of head washes for that month, right? A month has 4 weeks in it. Every other week at minimum, you should be washing your head. Those of you that work in high energy areas, hospitals, social services, jails, those types of places, your shit should be hit every week. Your head, your body, every week. Every time you come out of these places, you should have something to cleanse your energy, those energies off of you before you get in your car to go home. Y'all have got to get on top of y'all spiritual hygiene. This world is dirty as fuck. Clean spiritually as often as you can. As many times as you can. Don't let feathers have to fall out of your cabinet for you to say it's time, honey. Come on. Y'all are old as fuck and they got no business not being focused enough to say, I'm going to do this and do it right. Y'all are paid to have an ancestral veneration course that they tell you, all right, now go get these 9 dumbass books. And put the book up every day for 9 days. There's nothing special or spectacular about that. It forces you to take your dumb ass over to your ancestors for 9 days in a row and give them some authentic energy. Talk to them authentically with prayer every day for 9 days in a row. This is supposed to be getting you on target, right? Starting off a type of routine for you. It's supposed to be getting you to start doing something to help them help you. You pay for that. If you decided every day for the next 9 days in a row, I'm going to go over to my ancestors and I'm going to venerate them. How am I going to do that? I'm going to pray. I'm going to give them song. I'm going to make sure they got light. I'm going to give them water. I'm going to give them tobacco of some sort, whatever they like, a shot of alcohol, all of that. Every day for 9 days in a row for free. No, you need to pay $55 to $100 or $200 for somebody on the internet to tell you to do this every day for 9 days and take a picture. I don't give a fuck about your picture or your bubbles or any of that stuff. Your ancestors said, get your stupid asses over here every day. Your life is shit. Stop counting the days. Every day you wake up, I should see your face. In my face. Until you're strong. Until we come into you. Until you can hear us clearly. Until you can feel us clearly. Until you know it's our energy that's coming through to you. Every day. Don't take a day off. You don't take a day off from calling that nigga. You don't take a day off from texting that bitch. You don't take a day off to get your good morning love text on. So don't take a day off from going over there and making a relationship with them. The outside world's relationship is so much more important than where your actual protection, guidance, and strength is coming from. That bugs me out. That bugs me out with y'all. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Somebody explain it to me. Talk to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. And the kicker is, a lot of you guys are being dragged through life. So the fact that somebody is throwing out a safety net for you to catch yourself before you get all the way to the bottom and tell you these things, try it. You've done everything else. You cannot fuck the hurt away. You cannot drink the hurt away. You cannot smoke the hurt away. You cannot party the hurt away. You cannot bust it challenge the hurt away. You can't TikTok the hurt away. You can't buy fur coats and wigs and nails and bags and shoes. None of the hurt away. Because at the end of the day, your bank account is low and the hurt is still there. Work on yourselves. Could you please? Figure out your life. Could you please? And then what is deserving of your love, of all of what comes with you, of all of your blessed gifts, Because now you've had time to sit with yourself and find out what those things are. Now you'll know that all of those people that you were so helping over weren't worth your time. Now you feel just a little dirty. Because, they should have never had access to my energy at all whatsoever. So what was the lesson? Know my worth. I got to know my worth. Find out your worth. How do you find out your worth? Well, let's talk to our ancestors. Because nobody else is going to tell me, right? Nobody else is going to tell me nothing. I don't know why I am the way that I am because I haven't sat down and looked at my life to figure it out yet. Let me do that. Let me not lash out at those who have been sent to assist me in guiding me to get right. Because my nickname been can't get right for the past 15, 20 years. So when your ancestors or someone sends you someone to assist you, don't bite the hand that's going to help to feed you. Spiritually, I mean. Don't bite the hand that's sent there to help you to get your shit together. Don't do that. Why? Listen to someone that's already been through what you're going through to show you how to get through it, and for you to want, because y'all want all the spiritual gifts in the world and have done none of the work on self. Spirit is not coming into your dusty vessel to mount you at all. That's not happening. Stop. Everybody want to be mounted by spirit. Everybody want their madama to talk to them. Everybody want their gypsy to... First of all, your madama's not doing it. When you're dusty and your life is not right, they are the main ones that are like, absolutely not. Somebody add, that's the thank you, lead right into working with your madamas. Your madamas are here for structure. Your madamas are here to get your life together. Your madamas is here when you want order. The big mamas, think of the time and the place that they come from. They were the ladies that ran the big houses. They were in charge of the house helpers, right? They were in charge of, because when they weren't there, they still had to take care of those that were their family members that didn't live in the big house. They were your healers. They were the ones that kept everything in order. They were the ones that were well respected. They were the ones that were allowed near. They were the trusted energies that would keep order, right? When you're dealing with your madamas, please understand that they are coming to bring order in your life. They don't give a shit what you said, right? How do you deal with them? You listen. You humble yourself. You sit down and you pay attention to the messages that you get. Stop ignoring her. She's the one that's telling you to stop doing a bunch of shit. She's the one that reminds you to clean your behinds. She's the one that tries to tell you to get rid of certain people, and when those calls drop and those messages don't get delivered and you wonder what happened to this person, that she done pushed them out the way. She done made them see you in a different way. She done made them see some other shit to get them away from you. She is your mystic vision person. She is the one that sometimes they read tarot cards. A lot of them do. A lot of them don't want no cards. They want this straight intuition connection with you. They are the ones that are going to tell you all of the things that you need to know as far as nature is concerned. If you don't have any native Indians in your line or in your court, how do you deal with them? You got to ask them questions. You can't just make up and figure out, that's not that energy that you do that with. They want specific stuff. You got to ask them. Do they want machetes? 90% of them do. Do they want some type of a broom, natural broom? 90% of them do. They want bells hanging from them brooms with ribbons hanging from them brooms. Why? They clean out the house. Vibrations on the bells make noise. Energies get cleaned out the house when she's swinging that broom, right? Think about it. What do they like to drink? Some of them like rum. Some of them don't. Some of them don't like alcohol at all whatsoever. It is a specific... Listen, there is not one madama for the group. No. You got a madama, you got a madama, you got a madama, you got it. They're different. Each one of them is different. They all different. No, I never met a person that is not of the same bloodline that share a guide. No. They are specific to you. Okay? You got to ask her, what does she want? And then you got to, when you do tarot cards and they are the ones that are reading your cards, you have to ask them, do you want these particular cards? You know how many of mine I had cards for that I don't want them shits. I don't want them. No. If anybody knows me, they know I'll say all the time, I don't astrology. You can't ask me astrology. I don't astrology. I don't know. I don't know the signs. I know my sign, and I know the sign of the person that lives the closest to me. Anybody else? I don't know. I don't know what date and goes along with the cycle. I don't know any of that shit. I got one guy who cares about that. Just one. The rest of them, my natives, they work off of nature, right? The moon, all of that other kind of stuff. But astrology signs and your birth chart, no, I don't do that kind of stuff. I know that your birth chart means certain things. You got certain numbers of lives and all this other kind of stuff, and your moon is in this and your sun is in this. Now, how about why are you the way you are? Let me talk about your ancestors. Your sun and your moon and all of that other kind of shit. You're predisposed to do the things that you were taught, right? You're predisposed to repeat the actions of those that have raised you. You're predisposed to react in certain ways if you were raised by people who reacted in certain ways. You're predisposed to certain energies because that's how your whole line of people, let's work on them. Then we'll start worrying about the moon, the stars, and the past lives. People ask me for a reading, and I say, see, you can't handle the truth yet. Yeah, no, nobody got time for that. I don't give those types of readings. You want the truth, you're going to come over here. You don't want the truth, you're going to go over there. At the end of the day, at some point, you're going to come back over here because all of them lies that they done told you and all that bullshit's going to catch up because you still ain't moving, you still ain't elevating, and you still ain't learning shit. So come back over here and get the truth so that once you get this first hit, I give you a Band-Aid, you put it on you, and you go heal and fix the rest of the shit so that you can get to the next level and stop being stuck. That's what this is about. No longer being stuck in our own lives, in our own ways, in our own ways of doing things which are all fucked up. So please stop, right? Nobody is more important than us, and if we don't have children, first and foremost. We're not even on the kids. We still talking about the mates that are so much more important. God, I hope the people that are going through this don't have kids because they are simply watching you and you are teaching them how to be in relationships going forward. They're going to repeat the same stuff that you're repeating. Look at your partners. They will repeat them. Look at it. This is what you're setting your children up to think that this energy is normal. The toxicity that they've been living in, that they've been witnessing, that they've been part of. This is what that trigger memory is going to be when they find Cheryl and she all toxic as fuck. They remember this shit. Oh, to them it's like, oh, this is regular. I could deal with this. No, it's wrong. You shouldn't, though. You shouldn't. And your mother shouldn't have either. So who's going to stop it? Could y'all stop it before it hits them? Y'all got to break the family dysfunction. I was listening to somebody earlier talk about what do you call it? Chemical imbalances and, fighting depression and all this other kind of stuff and just battling it with years. And then I say to myself, well, this person, I've heard them say for years they had no relationship with their ancestors. Like the ancestors wouldn't fuck with them, right? Your vibration is all the way off when your ancestors won't fuck with you. Now, I'm not fucking with them. They're not fucking with me. I was like, whoa. Then I started looking. And this person is on some wild shit. Right? Wow. So your ancestors ain't messing with you because you wild. Reel it in. Because everybody's ancestors are not to the point where they have you, they need you to be doing stuff to elevate them and they can't come through unless. A lot of your ancestors is elevated enough that they can come through and say and do what they need to do. Strong enough to get all of the stuff that they got to get across because they weren't such bad people in life and their debts ain't so crazy that they've already been able to get what they need and they can get through to you. A lot of y'all have those types of ancestors. It just takes you time to figure out who and what they are. Who are they? What did they do while they were here? Building that relationship with them is finding out who was grandma. What did grandma do? Grandma happened to raise all of the grandkids because none of her kids turned out to be shit. Why? Well, because grandma was a better grandmother than she was a better mother. Why was grandma a bad mother? Well, back in those days, she didn't want to marry the man that they forced her to marry. And he wasn't a nice man. Okay. It starts to make sense as to why grandma has made up for those things that she did as a mother with the grandchildren, right? And so when she passed, she didn't have a bunch of, it's not, who's grandma's grandma, right? It's not so much work that she has to do, because she helped the grandbabies with the issues that started with the parents, which was her fault, right? Not totally her fault, because her parents had something to do with this happens a lot in Black and Hispanic families. Absolutely. Right? Nobody stops it. We so hush hush. We got secrets for days. Nobody talks to anybody. And then we think that it's just normal, when in actuality, none of it is normal. It's all toxic. It all is going to play out differently with each one of these grandkids. Not all of them are going to make it. We have to save as many of them as we can. How do we do that? We got to be better. Better people for us. Because if we're better, then we can't do nothing but give out the best of ourselves to others. And that rolls down to our children. Before we start bringing in the other energies of other people who are not great for us, we can now recognize that, because we've given ourselves enough time to recognize energy that don't feel as good as the peace that we've been feeling. And we find a place of peace, and someone comes in with energy that is not of peace. It disrupts what you've built and worked for, and you automatically feel it. You feel it. My mama a way better grandmother than she was to me, right? And you can't, these are conversations that you got to have with your mother so that you can fix those issues that you have with her. You got to fix those issues that you have with her. Listen, they did the best that they could with what they had and what they were taught. So when we learn about why they would, who raised them and what happened, and you realize, damn, she did what she could with me. And I'm lucky to be as stable as I am right now. So I can't really hold her. You know what I'm saying? I can't hold her. On God, I can't hold her. But when she realized it, I can't hold her on how she moves from now on, because she's had the opportunities now to understand what her rearing has done to me, and now has translated down to mine. How my relationships have been broken and tattered, because I didn't know how to look for real love. I was just searching for something, and I thought it was going to show itself to me, when in actuality, that's not how that works. Right? So you can't hold her for that, and you now recognize that gives you a place of forgiveness for her, right? And it allows you to forgive a lot of stuff, which sets you free. Gives you freedom to move energetically. It gives you freedom to not hold so many things down with you and then spew them out into the world because you're angry and you haven't processed and or dealt with what was going on with your upbringing. I'm trying to teach my turn my daughter our way, my ancestors' ways, but she is not interested. I have to show her then by the way I live, so she then turns but remember how to do it. She knows she came from. Right. How old is your daughter? And how long have you been doing spiritual anything for you to be trying to turn her? Right. They have to see from an example of something that's going to be of help for them to be invested in it. You know, the spiritual stuff that we do, it's not always a bunch of work, and we try to incorporate 14. We try to incorporate the children into the fun parts of it so that they don't only feel, you know, when it's the work aspect of it. At 14, she got a hot 2 years before she starts like really pushing away to make her own decisions, because that's what 16-year-olds do. You're going to have to have her do a family tree so she at least knows. I don't even associate it with anything spiritual at first. This is a family tree, so that she understands where she came from, and then maybe kind of explain to her. But this, you have to have the knowledge for her to grasp it, right? If grandma was the cook or the person that, what do you call it, tailor, the herbalist, What is it that she's interested in? We need to find what ancestor had something familiar to what she has an interest in. Something that you can relate to, a gift that has been passed down from them to her, so that you can kind of relate the two to where she's getting a lot of her ideas, or where she can tap into their energy to get ideas, creative ideas, art, whatever it is that she's toyed with. Something like that to pull her in. If singing is her thing, then have her sing to them. If dancing is her thing, then she can dance for them or with you and them, but do it together in a fun setting. So it's not always just prayed up. You don't have to always go over to them in a prayed up moment. I go over there and act silly with them all the time. You know, I have a cousin that died really young who was into hip hop and all that other kind of stuff. You think I don't go over there with the Biggie? Ready to die? Born to live? I'm over there with all that. He's in for it. It's not always, no, it's on some regular stuff with them. My uncle was big into reggae. You think I go over there and hit the reggae and be on all of that, all that with him? Fun stuff, right? They laugh. It's good energy. If they were in my house and they were alive, we would be doing this same type of nonsense. So don't make it be with the kids just about the holy praying of it all. That's a part of it. There's still fun aspects of it that you can incorporate that pulls the ancestors' energy closer to them. As long as they're involved some kind of way, shape, or form. And then it's just in letting them, and the reason why we do the family tree for them is because you want them to know who's who. Because if you have the gift, your daughter got it. If grandma, some people, it never skips a step, and I guarantee more than likely she don't want nothing to do with it because she's probably seen some shit and she's like, I'm not doing that. But this is going to be y'all saving grace, and with her, you're going to have to show and prove with her. You're going to have to show her that this works. You can't be a flighty spiritualist and then think you're going to pull her in. That's not how that works. Anybody that I've seen that's been 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and they trying to tell somebody else something, nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. Especially the kids, because the kids will be the main one. It be your kids all the time. Well, you said this, but I sure watch you do X, Y, and Z, and you better walk it how you talking, because them kids is watching you, and they waiting for you to step out of line one time from what you told them to do. You got to walk it like you talking and lead by example with these kids. But don't make it so much of work all the time where they're concerned. I heard you should put your ancestor altar in a closet or any room that is not your bedroom. I would not put my ancestor's altar ever in a closet. No altars really should be in your bedrooms unless you live in a studio apartment where you have no other option, right? We need them to have their own space. So even if you live in a studio apartment or you live with other people and you can't have them anywhere but your bedroom, a screen divider is always something that we recommend. You do the cascarilla or the F1 marking around the floor where you have them, and you do the 9 lines through the half circle that you've placed on the floor, showing them that this is their space, this is their place, and this is their room, if you will. They understand that there is no room, but in theory, spirit is not, they're not stupid. They're guides. They know. They see what you're working with. But if you have a full house and you have room to put them somewhere else, the bedroom ain't it. It's not in a closet. No, I would not. I would have to have the biggest kind of walk-in closet that is somewhat like a bedroom for me to put my ancestors in there. Anytime you try to put spirit anywhere, think about what it is that you want them to do, right? So above the table or something like that, an altar, but not of ancestral altar. The closet might be okay for them because it is, but it's still a big room. It's separate. Ancestors are family. I want them to have freedom. I want to feel their energy wherever I go. I don't want them to feel closed off or boxed in from a closet that they have, like they're shunned. That's the energy I feel. So that's not something that I would do in mine. I do that. I found the way by showing her the fun things, by showing her crazy ancestors, the funnest ones. Um, don't let up on her though. Don't let up off of her. Um, try starting her off with like some type. You just want to build her. You want her to be strong, independently strong on her own. You know what I mean? To not feel. Just get into her feelings, right? Let her be fully vocal and fully what do you call it? Translucent with her feelings, transparent. Excuse me, with her feelings, in order for her to always have that open dialogue, that open communication with you. Sit there sometimes if you read cards. Let her sit there with you and read her. Let her see how it works. You know what I'm saying? Get into the habit of that kind of back and forth with her. Listen, if it's in your living room and you don't have no place else to put it, if I have to worry about that, then those people shouldn't be in my house, right? It shouldn't be in my house. If I have to worry about anybody seeing anything in my house, then they should not be in my house. If I have to worry about anything that I have and someone taking anything from that, that person should not be in my space. I'll meet you there. You can have associates, and for everybody shouldn't be in your house. I'm going to start with that. Everybody shouldn't have access to your house. If I feel for one moment that I have to watch what I have in my house, you will never have access to my home at all. If I allowed you in my sacral space, I should be able to trust you. I shouldn't have to worry about what you see here. So y'all need to be careful about who y'all allowing to come in and out of your house. And if that's the problem, once again, the screen to put it up so that people don't have to be looking around and see certain things. But I've never had that. I have altars all over my house because I have spirits all over my house. I have certain energies like my warriors and stuff. They got to be by my front door. I'm not hiding them. I'm not covering them. I want them out and about. So the first thing that comes through that door, I want them to feel them first. Feel it. You feel that? Mm-hmm. As soon as y'all open that door, your foot go up to cross my threshold. You feel them. I'm not putting you in no closet. Absolutely not. I want you free. Just in case somebody comes in here with something, I need you to push it out. Let the human come through. But spirit, if you come to where I am, and you got something that ain't right with you, it's got to wait for you outside. It can't come into my house at all. That's what my security system is for. And I'm talking spiritual security system. Don't care what you see when you come in here. You can't do nothing with it. And if you can, you ain't got no business being here. Don't care about that. I don't care about that at all. I got wild Orisha in my house. You ain't gonna do nothing but see them when you come in. They insult petters. Some of them, like my Babalu Aye is completely covered, so you can't see him. But you come in here, you be like, "What's that? None of your business, yo." Word. I've had, my little sister's had when she was in college, and she had her leg with it. I remember this little girl tried to come in her room. One of her little roommates was some friend in there and took a picture, tried to take a sneak and take a picture of her leg. Soon as she hit the thing, he told my little sister, he was like, "She just took a picture of me." Fogged her camera all the way up so it was blurry, right? The picture would not come out clear. Didn't matter how much she tried, it wouldn't come out clear. My little sister snatched that girl's phone and deleted all her shit so fast, they will tell about it. What about management of nosy landlord people? The altars. It's called a screen. Put it up when they come in. Buy a screen. These fold and put up against the wall or in the closet or something. When they leave, you put the screen up. You close the screen down. You use the screen as you need it. There are different ways to do different things. It's time for y'all to start thinking, right? I'm not going to stifle all of my spiritual anything, the energies, and none of the stuff that I'm going to be doing because of other people. This is my house. I pay the mortgage here. Nobody else pays the mortgage here but me. So I'm going to be completely comfortable with all that I have here. Okay, I'm getting my altar together. I was wondering where to put it, live in an apartment. You have, listen, the ancestors will take the kitchen, the ancestors will take the floor. You don't have to have them on an elevated surface. If you have a Boveda table, your Boveda should be up high. Your Boveda should not be on the floor. But your ancestors altar the ancestors' space, they will take the floor. Yes, they can. Spirit can show up. However, spirit can show up in anything, right? They will burn their image into the wax of the candle. They will burn their image into, you can, in water, you can catch a glimpse of their image, fire, anything. If they want you to see something, if there's a message to be had, if there's something that you're supposed to see, they absolutely can. Absolutely can. I've seen it. Straight faces where you can make out everything. Yeah. This is spirit we talking about. Spirit can manipulate a great... Why do you think we give them candles and stuff and you have people that read candles? I read candles. After them drinks burn out, there's always something going on depending on whose candle it is. My bulb don't really get action like that. It's usually a clear burn. But the rest of the workers that I got around here doing stuff, oh, they're going to show me some shit in a minute. I have one, but they look on some BS. Oh, we need to do an annual inspection 3 times a year. How is annual 3 times a year? I'm going to need you to get your paperwork in order and start looking at your contracts as to why do you need to be in here so much to see whatever, right? Even if you have an altar there and you have take the candles off, right? While the inspection is being done. What are they going to say? You can't have a table with photos and prayer on it? No, just don't have no candles burning there. Make sure you have no traces of anything that's being burnt there, because that's the only thing that they can really say something about is open fire. Other than that, they can't say nothing about it. Yep, a whole face shift in between 2 of them. I was like, okay, heard you. Yeah, they could do that. What do it mean when the candle have no wax after it's done? That you've had a good clean burn. The candle should not have wax in it if it's burnt properly all the way down. Most candles burn. If you get candles that burn good, there is no wax in them at the bottom anyway. You just have that little thing that holds the candle, the wick in place. That's the only thing that's usually left in the bottom of the candle, unless it's a cheap candle. It's not supposed to have wax left in the bottom of it. Never. Only that happens when the wick thing didn't go all the way down to the bottom and it's burning out before it reaches the bottom. That's the way the candle was made. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, they could show up in a candle or something. And if it's 2 of them, at least you know who they are. You go and ask them. They're trying to communicate with you. They're trying to find a way to communicate with you. They're noticing the things that you're paying attention to. And so they're trying to manipulate that in order to get the message across to you. You've seen it. Now you know who those 2 are. You make sure that they're on your altar. You see the images. If you can locate pictures, now it's time to think, who might have pictures of them if I don't have none? Let me start trying to figure out who had these pictures. Now I see who they were. Do I know enough about them to know their stories? Do I know enough about them to know where I can pull strength from them from? Do I know enough about them to know what it is that they might need from me? So if they're coming up in the candle, they probably need more light. That's number 1, right? I need to know more about who they are and what they liked, what they did in life, and what it is that they can help me do now. The young lady who had asked me about working with the Madamas, if you again, any of your guides that step forward to you, or you've been told from an intuitive, a reader, a spiritual investigation, a Misa, any one of those things that you have this particular energy that walks with you, they normally give you some few things that this energy likes and or needs and or wants. It is up to you to take it further with that energy. Sit there sometimes with them and kind of just ask them. If they're cigarette smokers, you light them a cigarette and put it down. Now, the Madamas always want an image of them. They're going to want a doll at some point, right? A lot of them like statues. When dolls and statues of them, they tell you to get that of them. If you have a Madama in your team, they're going to want a representation. If you have a Gypsy Gitana in your team, they're going to want a representation. I'm always reading the extra waxes. I'm protected. No, the extra wax don't mean nothing. The extra wax just, no. You should be thinking you're protected anyway. If you're burning this candle, this is the blind faith part. You're burning the candle for your ancestors to give them light. If the candle burnt clear, It's not black at the top. The rim is not dark and black at the top. It's a clear burn, whether there's wax at the bottom or not. Your mindset should be, I'm protected because I'm doing all of the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing for my ancestors. I'm giving them the energy, I'm giving them the light, and I'm continuously working with them. That bottom doesn't mean that you're more protected than if it burnt clear. It's supposed to burn clear all the way through. It's just that you're not, the candles probably are no good. You know where you're buying them from. They're not the best candles. Let's say that. I don't mean no good. I mean they're not the best candles. You know, there's certain places that I'll buy candles from that I'll notice the burn be different. It's the type of candle. So I make sure I pay attention to where the candle came from and buy from that particular company all the time, because I know that these candles were made well and so that they'll burn all the way down. Cheaper candles from like certain dollar stores and supermarkets, them candles burn horribly. It's cheap wax. It's cheap. They make them cheap. If you leave them too close to the radiator, the whole wax will melt. It's real whack. Some candles, like the ones you get from Botanica, they be more expensive. But if you find a good dollar store, pay attention to the candles with the kind of wax, and you'll know what you'll get a good burn from. I'm trying to see. I don't have any bad ones because I buy them by the case. But don't put that much thought into the burn of it. Just remember, if the glass itself is clear, that's good. If it's not black around the top, that's a good clear burn. Yes, I have 9 Madamas at this time. Got to step forward. You can have multiples. I have 2 gypsies that are currently out, and I have 9 Madamas. I'm the Madama lady. There's 9 of them around here, which is why I am like a little old lady sometimes, because that's the energy that's in my house. I got 9 of them rolling through here, making sure that I stay on target, that I stay where I'm supposed to be at, that I stay focused, and that I stay with foundation and all of all of my shit. If I'm telling y'all this, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I got 9 of them to make sure that I don't step left or right. I am to do what I am told. I am to be on target. I am to be what I am, practicing what I preach, practicing what I post. Do they show up in dreams? I had 3 women dressed in white show up in my dreams a few months ago. They can show up in your dreams. They absolutely can. A little bit of gray. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Sometimes when the wick it's too long and it'll burn too high, it'll cause grayness at the top of the candle when it starts to go low because of the smoke. The candle will give off some smoke and it makes the top of it gray. It's gray. Keep burning it until it gets clear. Meaning keep the candles burning until it clears out. What does it mean when the rim of the back after the candle burns? If the candle is picking up something, there's something going on. There's something going on that the candle is picking up. So who are you burning the candle for? My energies gave me their names. Yes. When I and it'll be the randomest ways that they'll give you their names. For instance, one of my gypsies, when I went to purchase the doll to make her, she wouldn't let me buy any doll, and she made me go to the dolls that had the names on the boxes. And when I looked at the name on the doll, it didn't match the image of the doll that I was buying, but my lady made me change the image. Like, she just wanted, that was her way of showing me her name. So I looked at it, and it rang to me like, it was like, pay attention to that name. That's what I felt when I looked at it. So I was like, it's bugged out. I wrote it down, right? A couple of days later, I'm on Instagram, and there's a lady from a show that I used to watch all the time that hasn't been on, she ain't been on the show in years. She came up in my feed, and I didn't even hit it to hear the volume, but it was the same name. So I looked at it and I started laughing. So, you know me, I read. So I went to do a divination, and I asked her, is this your name? And she was like, yeah, that's my name. I keep telling you, like, so they'll find ways in order for you to get their names. The other one straight up just told it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to divine with one of them. The other ones just, they told. No, V, they tried to show me how to conduct electricity through the flow and how to switch faces with water. One asked me to follow. Huh? Wait a minute, what? Wait a minute. No, yes, they tried to show me how to conduct electricity through the flow and how to switch phases with water. I don't understand that. When you say that they tried to show you how to conduct electricity through the flow and how to switch phases with water, what does that mean? And when you said she asked you to follow her, follow her where? I need you guys, listen, whenever you are having a moment where you think spirit is communicating with you and you're not completely sure who and or what, because the three in white does not necessarily mean madamas. You can be three in white of your ancestral lineage that is coming through to tell you something. Good night, my love. You're very welcome. So you have to ask them. Try to program yourself into thinking, when I see an energy that I'm not completely sure what, but I feel comfortable, I still need to ask, who are you and how do you come? And then what is your name? Even though I got my altar from Mama Madama, can I get a small statue? Put my where I sleep. Even though you got an altar for your Madama with no, what do you have on the altar? Do you have what do you have there for her? Where I sleep. You want a statue of her to put where you sleep? Why do you think you need a statue of her where you sleep? I don't want them in my room when I'm sleeping. First of all, they'll come and start talking to me. If I lay down for a minute sometimes and I'm just laying there, it'll be 1,000 of them trying to talk to me at one time, to the point where I gotta tell them, like, look, I'm trying to go to sleep. Y'all gotta get out. Even though I'm trying to go to sleep. Like, y'all can talk to me on a regular time. Like, don't just bombard me with shit right now. Like, I'm trying to go to sleep. Give me 3 things. I'm gonna jot them down on my phone real quick, and then everybody back up. Good night. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. If there's something further that we need to discuss or whatever, give it to me in my dream, because I'm not catching everything right now, and then everybody's talking at one time, so it feels like a racing of my mind, but it's 1,000 thoughts, and I know it's them because it's giving me a bunch of shit to do. And I'm like, now that I'm going to sleep, I'm not going to remember this. So I'm going to jot down these first 3 that I heard, and then after that, I'm going to need everybody to be quiet. I want her to come to me. I want her to come in my dreams. But putting her in your room when you sleep ain't gonna make her come to you in your dreams. You gotta just tell her that. Who are you and how do you come? Who are you, friend or foe? You think a trickster energy is not gonna tell you friend? They gonna lie to you all day. That don't mean nothing. When I say who are you and how do you come, I need your name. And when I say how do you come, you got to tell me that you come under the light of, normally they'll tell you Olodumare, Olofi God, or some type of high elevated energy of light, right? They're going to tell you that. If they are not totally in the light, they're going to tell you that too. I've had an energy come through and say, I come and I work. I don't only work this, I work this too. So I'm here when you need me. I vow to do this, and this for y'all. This is what it is. So just know I'm here with it. I'm bam or I'm bam. But don't think I'm just here. Because I'm going here and I'm coming here and I'm bringing it here. But for the most part, I like to be down here. So that's when you knock on my door. Other than that, I'm not going to knock on his door for all this bullshit. When there's smoke, him. If it ain't no smoke, I'm not fucking with him. Leave him alone. Leave them alone. But they gonna tell you that. No idea one wanted me to rub my feet on the floor and make electricity and switch faces by putting splashing water on my face and saying Mafere phone something. We were on a wraparound balcony. I started to then woke up when she looked back at me. You need a divination to find out who's who and what's what, baby. I hope that you have an ancestral altar set up in your home, and I hope that you have a relationship with your ancestors, because when you start allowing other energies to come through, you want to make sure that they are not trickster energies and that they are who they say they are. And the way that we guard our spiritual gates is by asking our ancestral line and someone in particular, like whoever was the wrangler of the rest of the family, to stand at the gate and only allow through what is here for your highest good. This is one of the prayers you take over to the ancestors. And when I'm talking to them, and don't got to be like, oh, Nam Yo Renge Ko. Listen, block my gates, block the doors. If it's not of my highest good, if it doesn't come in spirit and light and truth, it doesn't come under the umbrella of Olodumare, Olofia, Olorun, if it doesn't come here to help me on my path, if it doesn't come here to help me to elevate, it works under light only and on all of that other kind of stuff, then it's not allowed to come through. Anything less than that, and the message is something that is going to benefit me, that message must come through you guys only. That energy is not allowed direct access to me in no way, shape, or form. Spirit is able to block a gate, to block the doorways. That's their job. I don't sit with them consistently though. If you want communication, you have to be consistent. If you want a girlfriend or a wife or a husband, you gotta be consistent. Nobody's just marrying you, seeing you once a month. That's whack. And you live in the same state, city, and country, and with them, the same house, and you talk to me once a month. No, we're not gonna have a relationship. We're not gonna be cool. We're not gonna be homies. We are like colleagues. Like, I work with these people, but they're not my friends. It's supposed to be friend, family, not I'm in and I'm out, not, it's got to be important for all of y'all. If it's not important for y'all, then y'all can forget about what you want being important for them. They don't care about what you find important. You don't care about what they find important, because what they're finding important is to guide you. What they're finding important is for you to get rid of the stuff out of your life that's toxic. Half the stuff that they're going to tell you to do, you're not going to want to do it. Half the stuff that they're going to tell you to stop eating, you're not going to want to stop eating it. Y'all got to understand that your diets play along a lot to do with how you are responding spiritually to stuff, how your receptors are receiving these transmissions, how you're receiving these energetic waves and stuff. If all your shit is French fried, McDonald's, Burger King, those are all poisons and toxins. You can't work that way. Nothing vibrates right off of poison and toxin. Your organs don't vibrate properly. Nothing acts appropriately when you're unhealthy. So you got to be healthy. You got to watch what you put in your body. You got to watch what you consume on all definitions of the word consumption. Yeah, I've been telling myself that I need to get back to the routine I was building back on track. Right? There's no such thing as starting and stopping. You don't want to start a relationship and then stop a relationship with anybody that you claim to love. I love my ancestors. All of them. I don't care what they did. You know why? Because if they didn't do it, I wouldn't be here. So even in their worst moments of them doing the dumbest shit that they can do, it allowed still for somebody to do something for my mother and my father to get together and for me to be here. So for that, I will always be thankful to them. Always. And so that energy that I feel of gratitude to them always transcends in my dealing with them. My dealings with them. You know how I fried some fish earlier. And my little sister fried fish. We fried fish at like 2:30 in the morning last night, right? Friday, we fried fish, right? That's what my family's used to doing. We don't eat meat anyway, but on Fridays, my mother used to always fry fish. So I got into the habit sometimes of frying fish on Fridays, right? So now they want some fish, and I only made a couple of pieces of fish, but I was like, do y'all want fish again today? I got the inkling that they wanted it, and I was like, nobody said anything. I didn't hear them. You know what they did? They smacked a bowl off the dish rack, which made me go and pick up the bowl and look at the dish rack and see their little saucer sitting in the dish drainer. That meant, yeah, bitch, we want some fish today too. You think that I didn't take that as I didn't hear them, so they don't want the fish. I know the question I asked. I asked them, do y'all want fish? Could they have said, yes, give me fish? Yes. Did they? No. I didn't hear them say that. So I was about to go out the kitchen to go do something when the bowl got smacked off the dish drainer. And I said, well, goddamn, y'all could have just said yes. And they were like, yeah, well, we didn't. You asked, and we answered you the way we felt like answering you today. I was like, oh, like... I stopped right then what I was doing, picked up the bowl off the floor, washed it, put it back in the thing, and then took out their bowl that was sitting in it, because they have specific dishes that are theirs. I don't share stuffed food that I eat from and then give them those plates. I have small saucers and small teacups and coffee mugs and all of that kind of stuff for them, so they know their stuff. Even my Palo, my Congo, they have wood bowls and stuff because they don't want glass bowls. But not when they're eating. They want jicaras and they want these wood coconut bowls and stuff like that. So I know that if somebody throws one of those, it's usually them, right? Because they just rough like that. They wild out, right? So they'll just throw a bowl, like put it in here, right? And it's when I'm cooking. It is not like on a random, I'm just sitting here watching TV and a bowl will roll through. No, it is. I'm in the process of doing something with food. I'm in the process of starting to serve plates. I'm in the process, like I just turned off the pots and they are sitting there watching me turn off the pots. Like, let me throw my bowl first so that she don't forget. It's those things that I pay attention to that allows me more access to them, because once I start, the first time that my Lucero did that to me, I heard him say, after I looked at the bowl, yeah, that bowl. And I was like, oh shit, I love this. Keep talking. And it was only because I was standing there and he asked me for something and I stood in the kitchen and I was like, well, what am I going to give it to him? And something pulled my attention this way. When I looked this way, all of my wood stuff, my jicaras, all of that stuff, I don't know, my sister must have piled them over there in the corner and sat them there, and he was like, yeah, that. So I just went and got it and gave it to him. Now, if I'd have went and grabbed the glass, he probably would have broke it. Because I just told you I didn't want that glass. That's not what we use. Don't run that over here. Now I know these bowls are theirs. I'm not mixing them up. The glass, those things, these things will be for the ladies. The ladies will use the glasses and the cutesy stuff. The rough stuff, they don't want nothing cute. No, they don't want nothing cute. Not the Congo, not the Palo. They don't want nothing cute. Give me that shit that we would have had. Give me that. My Native American Indians, they want the shit that they would have had. Give me that. I don't want that cutesy shit. Give me all that old school stuff that looks weird. We want all the weird stuff. That's what we want. Yes, that's what we use. It's weird to you. This is normal to us. I thank you. And I give it to them. Pay attention to the symbols, the signs, things that drop. It's what you're doing at the moment. Like, it's what I'm doing at the moment. I don't have to guess to say, oh, who I know what I just asked. This y'all want fit. I didn't hear it, but the bowl got thrown. I know that is the communication. So time, place, and space, and then things, sometimes say, oh, things just happen. Yeah, things do sometimes just happen, but you know that if you have spirits in your house, energies in your house, you're communicating with them, you're venerating them, you're giving them stuff, you're making them part of your life and your family, just like a child will come through and be like, mommy, I want, and drop a cup. They gonna come in here and do the same type of stuff. I got children's energies, right? So with my Beijis and some of my Alleguas, I got a gang of Alleguas too, right? Some of them are through Lukumi, they give you the path of Allegua, right? Some of them are the younger versions of him. Some of them are not. Some of them are the older versions of Allegua. So the younger versions, he don't want coffee. He don't like it. Don't bring that shit over here. I don't want it. But if I put hot chocolate or apple juice, he's in, right? All day, in. I'll see him move with that and liquor, because the older ones like the liquor. Don't put coffee over there because he don't like it. Now, if I take coffee and give it to, of course my natives want coffee because that was one of the things that they bargain with. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you go to someone that does shamanic work or anything like that, you bring something to them. It's an offering. That was the bargain, the barter system in those times, right? Those tribes, it's always a bargain. You bring something when you're coming to someone's home or to get services or something like that. There's an offering that you come in there with, right? So I can give them the coffee and all of that other kind of stuff. It's just, so the children's energies though, like I bought them yellow Oreos, those I love those, right? Crack cocaine in this house. The yellow Oreos. As soon as I crack the bag, so we get some cookies. I, do you think for once that it's because I'm in my kitchen, I'm gonna start with who's in my kitchen first? I got the side thing on my kitchen, the little area. My ancestors is over there. I put my cookies down there first. Then where do I go? My both of them. For any children's spirits that may be coming to help me. I don't have children. I don't have any past life in, miscarriages, abort, that kind of stuff. I don't have that stuff. So the children from there would be through my bloodline. Any bloodline children that have passed. You know what I'm saying? I put cookies down for my Beijis. I put cookies down for Legua. Anybody else who likes sweets, I put cookies down. Say Martha has a son, I put stuff down for him. You know what I'm saying? So different energies, and you got to pay attention to these energies and these statues and understand that most of the times if they have a child that they're holding, that child represented their kid or children, that energies that they worked with, the children's energies that they're protective of. So, we're saying Martha the Dominator, for instance, she had a kid in her lap. This is her son. So we put candies and stuff down for him. We give offerings to her, but out of respect for her, she's caring for us. She's protecting us, and she did these things to help protect her kid, keep him away from the dangers and stuff. So we placate him as well. This is the relationship from me to her, to understand that I understand you had a son too. You're not here. He's not here. The same way we take care of us and our young, here you go. And a special something for him too, because he's yours. And hey, Jess, and I want you to work with me, and the way that I honor and respect you is to honor and respect what you did and all of what you come with, and this child comes with you. So I can't just lean on you to do certain things for me and not include the energy of the child that is yours into the offerings that I give to you. This is an understanding the energies of these forces that have come to help walk and work with you. You gotta pay attention to all of their story. Dig a little deeper. Ask a few more questions. You'll be surprised at what Google will kick out if you ask the right question, right? That was basically it. Did anybody have any questions? But be very careful. I want all of y'all to, when having random dreams and doing certain things, sometimes we'll think it's someone when it's not actually that energy. And I'm not saying the young lady with the 3 in the white that it was not all 3 Madamas, but normally all 3 in white. You may want to ask if you had elder women in the family, that because you saw their faces, do you know the faces of the elders that have passed in the family? Oh, hey, Adibi. Do you know the faces? This is where we get into looking at the pictures of the family members, and this is one of the reasons why we keep them on the altar spaces, because these energies will step forward in our dreams and different people who can see spirit and all of those types of things. We want to know that these faces match up. Who this? Who that lady? Who you? I need that name. I need to know who that was. And sometimes they'll tell you it was a grand this on the mother's side, the father's side, and then they won't tell us the name, but they'll just tell us what line it's coming from. You're supposed to know who that person is. That's why whenever we do certain types of divinations, you got to know your ancestor names so that we know who's talking to us. Because we can ask, all right, so who this? Is it Big Mama? Yes or no? They tell us. So communication is key. Having the space open for them to communicate with you. And then y'all got to just do the work. Please. Spiritual hygiene is extra important. We clean ourselves constantly. Don't let a week go by that you haven't taken a spiritual bath, especially in this time. I don't know their faces. I can't remember what they look like either. I didn't do anything about the dream. Thought I just wrote it down. You are 100. Thank you, my love. Do you have photographs of your ancestral line, though? Can you go look at some photographs to see if any of those faces were resembled these people, the three women, or any of the three women that appeared? You said that they were trying to get you to find electricity and changing faces. The changing faces is the part that kind of has me questioning this, because the ancestors, when they want you to know it is them, they're not going to shape shift their faces, because how you going to know it's me if I'm changing my faces? Now, if it's a message that's coming through telling you, be mindful of the energies that you are allowing access to move back and forth and all of this other kind of stuff, they are going to change faces on you if you are not careful with the flow of energy that you're allowing in and out of here. That could be the message that's coming through if you don't know who those people are. But the first thing, no, I don't, only of my grandfather. See, that's the first issue. You got to find out who your ladies are. Who's your line? Who's in your line? Who's in my blood? Who's back there in my bloodline? Because you know the male side, but you don't know the feminine aspects of your line. And the maternal aspects of your line is who birthed all of y'all. So, you know the women are the strong ones. We know this. You need that strength before you open up a portal to allow any other energy to come through and do a face change, shape shift on you. Protect yourself, protect your peace, and don't just be pulling up energies. Because this is what I'm getting. I'm going to show you how to get in this water and do the energy pickup, right? You picking up energies. You see how you charging it. You see how you making it go. You see how the current is moving. Now, see those faces changing? If you're not protected to have the portals guarded, this is what comes out of it. Shapeshifters and faces changing. Yeah. No. Yeah. You got to find out the rest of your bloodline and work with ancestral energies only until you have an understanding of who they were. You have a proper altar with their names on there and some photographs up there, and you have spoken to them and said, listen, I know who the strong ones were, and I'm going to need y'all to stand at my gate. For now, if Grandpa is strong enough and you know his character to be one of those pushback type of energies, then you tell him right now to do it until and then you can also ask him, now could you go back there and help me find the rest of these ladies and the rest of my bloodline so that I can figure this out? Talk to him. You know him? You comfortable with him? That's the only one you know for now. Ask for his help in pulling forward. Who is his wife? What's her name? What's grandma? He had to have a counterpart for the birth of them, for the birth of you. Who's the counterpart? That's the balance. Remember, the male and the female energies is the balance. And that's the balance that we need from our bloodlines to help us to find our footing. It took him and her for the elder to be born or created. It's going to take him and her for you to find balance. So, don't open up no portals and don't have a bunch of altars and nothing. I never have a blank altar that's just set up. I have about 13 names on there right now. I've only met 2 of them. Grandma is alive right now. Only the dead that goes on your altar. Direct bloodline only, and only the dead, right? But you need to know what they did. You have the names. Grandma's still alive, but her mom's is not. Gotta go back. His mom is not. We don't know enough about the elders to know what position someone should be in, meaning they're all your bloodline, but some of them, I have particular ancestors that were straight up no nonsense. That's the one I want at the gate. When I say no nonsense, I don't mean just no nonsense in the streets. I mean no nonsense with their own family. I mean no nonsense as a whole with anybody. They didn't care who it was. If it was wrong, it was wrong, and they was regulating. That would be Big Mama. She's at the gate. I need her at the gate. I have a bunch of uncles and grandfathers and all of them. I know that grandma kept them niggas in line. So you think I'm gonna ask one of them to guard the gate? No, I'm still gonna ask grandma to guard the gate because she was the one who was snatching them up. So I'm gonna need her to be the one to go over there at the gate because that means she don't care and she's snatching up anybody. You grandma act like that's my baby. That's exactly how they act with spirit on the other side. Don't come through here messing up the progress that we got going on with this baby. I'm not having it. So finding out more about who they are is how you help to build that ancestral connection, which helps to elevate them, because if the stories about them are not told and remembered, then they are forgotten. In order for us to elevate them and to properly venerate them, that means that their stories have been told and we know who they are. And so their memories are not forgotten. And so they get to, that's energy. When Coco, I always refer back to Coco the movie. If they are forgotten, then that's where the energy goes away. If you remember them and you pass down those stories and the rest of the family knows the stories, it keeps their memory alive. Now, because we understand that spirit never dies, that energy transcends into that spiritual energy that's allowed to help me. My father's ancestors came through reading strong. They wanted me to know they were around. I don't know my father or his family. They know you. And as long as you have their names, that's all you need. As long as you have, if they come through, that means that they're able to tell you who they are. Write their names down and honor them. I don't have photographs for every single person in my family. That would be impossible, right? You think of the time they didn't even have cameras or none of that kind of stuff. They didn't have money to be taking pictures and stuff. So I'm lucky enough to have quite a few generations back. But even if I don't, that doesn't take away from me connecting with that person's energy. I asked my mom about them. She told me a few stories about them in front of the altar. There was a nice energy, right? That's what I did with my granddad. He guards my case. I don't know names. You got to find out some names, baby. Did they not tell you the names if they came out in a reading? Then someone should have been able to give you their name, at least a name. Yeah, but even if you find out some stories about grandma to see what her energy was like, as long as you venerate them. And, as time goes on, the more of them stand up, right? And it doesn't just require just one person to be at the gate at that point, because they start to have help. They start to have assistance. The more that you elevate, the more ancestors start to be pulled to the forefront. I've never met my dad's dad, ever. He died when my dad was young. You think that he didn't come up to not even in a reading, straight up on me. I was in my house. He wrote up on me. I had to go and ask, who is this man? And they was like, he gave me his name. I had to go through it. I started asking. And it started with my uncle, because my uncle and him got the same name. And I knew it wasn't my uncle because I know my uncle's energy, because I knew my uncle in life, right? And when I said the senior, and it was like, yes, I was surprised because I've never met this man before. He died well before I was born, before I was even an idea. I called my dad the other day and I spoke to him, and he was telling me a story about my grandfather from when he was like 3. And we're laughing because it was a ratchet ass story, but it was just so funny because had I not felt his energy, had he not stepped forward, I wouldn't even have got that story about him from my dad. And in that conversation with him, it made him understand a lot of the things that went on with him and my brothers, you know what I mean, and his life. And as he's talking, he's just reading. My father's dead ass reading his stuff, and I'm sitting there laughing. He ain't spiritual at all, like not at all. And when we got off the phone, I told my little sister the conversation, and she just started laughing. She was like, yo, that's crazy. And then it made me understand why my grandfather stepped up to me the way that he did, because he was probably just so elated that I didn't forget him, even though I didn't know him, and that nobody else really remembers him, and they don't really fuck with him like that. But I started calling on his name at one point because I just felt like it was time and it was necessary, because you didn't do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do, like, you weren't the best person. Like, half of your bloodline ain't the best people. But if they didn't hurt, like, you know what I'm saying, tear the family down and all that kind of stuff, nobody is not to be redeemed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's able to get some type of redemption as far as I'm concerned, because that's just where I am with it. I vibrate on spirit's frequency, and if I'm gonna tell y'all to forgive, then damn it, I better learn how to forgive too. I can't be telling y'all to do something that I'm not unable to accomplish on my own. You know what I mean? So I rocks with my bloodline. That's my line. Without him, my dad wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. He didn't do anything that was so detrimental to, you know what I'm saying? He lived his life the way he lived his life because of what happened with him coming up. If I can understand that about everybody else, I gotta understand that about him too. He understood and was grateful enough to, and strong enough at that point to come through and get close enough to me that damn near I felt like he almost mounted me, and I was like, hold up, this is shit's crazy right now. And this is another thing. I heard somebody say, oh, your ancestors can't mount you. Who the fuck told you that? That's not true. Straight up pulled up on me like, hello. And I was sitting in front of my ancestor altar, and I was not expecting him. And I was having a conversation about something else, and he popped out like, yeah, so I'm going to take this one. And I was like, who this? Who this? I know it's one of y'all, but this one this is a new one. Holla at your girl, talk to me. And it was him. I printed out. No, a name didn't come up. I had to do Ebel of appeasement to them. For what though? This is what I don't understand. When you you have a divination done, and you say that this part of the family came forward. Who? There's a part in the divination that when the ancestors start to talk, if there's an Ebel that they want, we need to know who's stepping forward at this time to ask for this Ebel. Yeah, it's not normally, I've seen it that, you know how many people I've seen get mounted by ancestors? Now, I will say this, I've never seen anybody get mounted with a close ancestor, like someone that was alive when they were alive, or someone that they knew in life. It's always, from my experience, someone that's been passed for quite some time that you've never even met. Those are the ones I've seen. Great grandma possess a grandchild. I've seen that. I've seen the greats back a generation, not grandma, go back again. I've seen them not on the daughter, but on the grandchildren. So I've seen it skip a couple of generations where that person has mounted. I've full on seen it with my own bloody eyes. In my reading, my father ancestors was bringing challenges to me, so I had to do Ebo. You know your dad's name, right? If you know your dad's name, and his parents were together, and a birth certificate was signed, that gives you the father's name. This is what I had to do to get information. I had to go backwards and get birth and death certificates. So what I did was I got my great-grandmother, I had to find out what year she was born and what year she died, and what state she lived in and what state she died in. Brooklyn, right? So I went to vitalrecords.com in Brooklyn. I put in her information. I didn't have her social security number. I had her name. I had the city and state that she lived in or died in, the year, and I think it asked for like next of kin or something like that I knew of. It might not have asked for that. I filled out that information. They sent me the birth and death certificates. On that thing, I was able to see her parents. This is my great-grandmother's parents. So that would be my great-great-grandmother. It gave me my great-great-grandmother's, nope, great. 4 generations back, it gave me the mother and the father. So I had the great-great-great-grandmother and the great-great-great-grandfather's information off of that death certificate. Then it gave me the aunt's name because she signed off on the death certificate. It cost me $12 per certificate. I had to work backwards. Whoever was still alive, the oldest person in the family, let me see your birth certificate, yo. That give me your parents' information. Thank you. Give me the dates, all of that kind of stuff, because it tells you the parents, all that old school, the old birth certificates used to have a lot more information on it. My original birth certificate even has my time of birth on it, right? The newer ones don't have any of that stuff. The older birth certificates got everything in their mother's information on it. They used to have that shit in depth. In depth. Now they're not the same. So backwards work is what we're doing. Those older certificates got a lot more information on it. That's what you need to start looking forward. The backwards work is where your answers are going to come from. Something is going to come out of that. And did they tell you why they're bringing the challenges your way? Is it because you don't know them? Is it because they're looking to connect with you? I hope that they gave you more information than just doing the Ebo so that they no longer bring the challenges, but now you're still not honoring and venerating them. That's where they'll smooth out the way for you. It can't just be that one Ebo and then it's done. No, they want to be part of what's going on. And if you're doing the Ebo, that means that they're approving whoever's doing the reading and saying that this is safe. These people are not here to harm you, but they're causing these challenges because now, figure us out. Find us so that we can now help because you're doing this stuff for the other line. And you know, that side, you ain't here on just one line. You here because of the mother and the father. And we need our honor as well. Yeah, they want you to connect with them. They have some stuff for you, and they want you to receive it. And listen, a lot of times we wonder where the blockages and things come from, and I look at these things as a blessing to say that it's something as simple as finding out who they are and connecting with them to move blocks from my life. That means that as soon as I put and invest the time with them and the energy into them and finding out who they were and venerating them, if they can block it, that means that they can clear it out and allow for all of the good to come in. Even the parts about them that I don't know that offers me insight into different abilities that I have, different talents that work through me from them, you know, and finding out, you know, your hustle mentality, if you have that, will come from somebody over there that can figure out how do we get this money. They were that business-minded person. You know, there are blessings that come in with that. And when you're thinking of communicating and finding them, I need you to look at the fact that if they can block it, they can open it up. So I'm gonna put all that I got into finding them so that I can get this relationship opened up so that they can help me open my roads to the good stuff that's supposed to be happening for me. If they can stop some stuff, they can start some stuff too. So just think of it in that way and just move, and hopefully it'll make you move faster and consistent in finding it. If no one has any more questions, I'm about to get off of here. I said I was going to be off of here 47 minutes ago. I just looked at it and it is 1:47. I'm about to shut it down. I will try to save this live. You guys know every now and again I put up a post in my stories asking for spiritual questions and clarifications. If you have those, then by all means, when I put those up, just pay attention and I'll answer questions when I come back to do another live again. I do also readings, divinations, all of those types of things. So if anybody wants to book anything, just DM me and I'm getting to them in the order that I receive them. I mean, if you have the opportunity to locate him, then by all means, if that's what they want you to do, and if it's safe for you to do so, then by all means do that. There's probably a connection there that you need to fix in order to be able to move forward comfortably and from a healed place in dealing with the opposite sex and in your relations, and for you to deal with those abandonment issues and those things that you have hidden a little bit that you think that nobody sees, but the ancestors absolutely see that, and they're giving you the fix to help with your wounds now so that you don't have to carry them any further into your future and your life. On that note, I'm going to say goodnight to you all. I thank everybody for their energy. I thank you for your time and your patience. You all have a blessed evening. Good night.